Good day. Welcome to a repulsive episode of Two Mics with Two Mics. I'm Pastor Mike, and I have a microphone.
And I'm Pastor Michael, and I have a microphone as well. And today, we heard about this great new movement, and we want to explore it. But before we do, I want to learn a little bit more about it. I hear that it comes from a old tradition, so let's watch together and learn.
We're not going to say what the movement is?
No, let's find out. Let's find out. Let's let them find out with us.
Hit it, maestro.
Totally working. There we go.
In the wake of Donald Trump's historic win, there's a new movement sweeping America. Disappointed women are actually swearing off men.
There's no way I am letting any man near me for the next few years.
They're saying no to dating, no to marriage, no to sex,
Celibacy, at least to me, isn't that hard.
and no to having children.
Like so many other women in America who have been considering trying to get pregnant, I woke up today and said, nope, not anymore.
This woman is actually shaving her head in protest. It's being called the 4B movement, and women are taking to social media declaring their allegiance.
The 4B movement was actually started by women in South Korea back in 2019 as part of their version of the Me Too movement. The number 4 refers to dating, marriage, sex, and children.
This movement's way more important now than ever.
26-year-old Alexa Vargas joined the movement 2 years ago and expects a surge of interest in the wake of the Trump victory.
So you, in 2022, swore off dating forever.
Not forever. We're not going to settle for low-value men that don't respect us anymore.
But lots of women are mocking the no marriage, no sex movement.
Wait, that woman was cutting her hair off? Oh, bold.
Wild. The fact that these crazos are out here, they're like, we're not touching men. I hope that means more for me.
That's funny. Oh, goodness. So, what do you think of this? What are your thoughts?
I think for some of them, saying that they're not going to date or have sex with men is a blessing to men. Did you see some of them while they looked?
There are a few that enjoy a good late night run to Taco Bell, for sure. So, I guess. Okay, you're a part of the older generation.
Yes, I am the older generation.
I am the Senate. So, can you try to make some logic out of this? Like what? Like with your understanding, how would that make any sense logically?
Okay, let me get this. Let me make sure I understand what's happening.
Okay.
So Donald Trump gets reelected. He's president-elect.
Mm-hmm.
And so these women, married or unmarried, right? Some of them are married, right?
Mm-hmm. That's what I spread. Yeah.
Oh, boy. So these women are going on strike, on a sex strike, right?
Mm-hmm.
Against their husbands, against their fornicating boyfriends, against each other, because who knows how they identify. And so they're not having any sex, period. And some of them are going bald.
They're
Is
going
that right?
with the Sinead O'Connor look.
Okay. So what do I think about it? I think for all those women that are involved in that movement, that's a good thing for them to do because they are nuts.
So, can you try to make all right? Trying to get into their mindset. How does that make sense? How does that help anything? If you're trying to get into the mindset of those people who are saying, "I'm not doing B, and B," how does that somehow connect to the president-elect? How can you make those
He
connections?
could care less. I'm sure Donald Trump is not sitting in his office going, "Oh man, I can't believe this." He's probably like,
That was a decent impression. That was very
That's good.
decent. Okay, so then why? Okay, why do you? Let me try. Let me try to rephrase the question.
Sure.
Why do you think that they think this will somehow have an impact, and what kind of impact do you think they're going to make?
Man,
Like really? No,
you're
I
asking
try
me to get into a mind of a Jezebel.
Several. Why do you think they think this is going to do something? I want to know what you're like when you analyze people like that. Yes, we can see that, they're going for the.
Obviously, it's going to get them attention.
Okay.
Yeah, so it is going to get heard about.
yeah.
Well, like it already is. All I can say is that the poor husbands that are married to a woman who wants to join the 4B or has joined the 4B movement, and even worse, shaves her head with Thanksgiving coming up in pictures. I mean, what are you going to give her for Christmas? A wig?
That's possible. A lot of women do the extreme haircuts, and then they regret them afterwards. So
Well, look, you're married
I am.
and just had a baby boy earlier this year.
I am not a birthing person, but my wife had that boy. I was involved in some manner.
Some manner.
My wife did not shave her head, so yes, I was after her.
So, let me call you Mr. T and not meaning the actor. Would you go celibate for 4 years? What would you do? Here, let me ask you.
I've been celibate since Joe Biden's been president.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Let me turn the tables here. What if, and I know this would never happen, not in a million years, because your wife is not mentally, how did Rocky put it, irregular.
Okay.
Your wife is not mentally irregular.
She's not mentally
But
constipated. Got it.
Let's say, it's not what I meant. Mentally, yes. So what would be your response if she came to you and said, honey, I'm going to join this movement, and no, ain't no hanky-panky. You're
I
not
would
going to be
say-
singing Oh, What Fellowship, Oh, What Joy Divine for 4 years.
Well, jokingly, I would first say I'm going to be investing a lot more money in my gym because I'll have a lot of aggression that I'll need to take out. Then I would probably make another joke about joining a fight club to get out that aggression. And then I would say, if my wife did that, given our marriage, I would literally have to ask her, are you drunk? I would probably start with that. Like, did you backslide? Are you, do you understand what this is? This arrangement here, it involves one component.
Have you never read the scriptures?
True. That's one thing here is we've seen some things. And yeah, go ahead and pull it up.
Yeah, I'm going to pull it
But
up.
we've seen some things, and one thing that is, it's this weird thing that when you get married, sex is a part of it.
It's a huge part of it.
One might say it is a key component. I believe God started by saying it's a key component when he said to Adam and Eve, be fruitful and multiply. It implied them getting to know one another in a very intimate way and then creating kids. Now, I say that because, quite frankly, most marriages that we've seen, when sex starts to leave, eyes go a-wandering. Females are looking for, approval and attention from other areas, other sources.
But not if they're the ones saying they're going to be celibate.
No, I'm just referring to generally,
generally.
if married couples stop having sex, the guy is looking elsewhere and the girl's looking to be satisfied emotionally elsewhere because they're missing a key component. And so this celibacy kick is not going to end well for those marriages. In all likelihood, your husband's going to go either to pornography or he's probably going to go find somebody that is willing to
I know her name.
open the shop.
I know her name.
You know her name? What's her name?
Flu Z.
Floozy.
Okay. I mean, for all them unmarried women, it's a great thing.
Well, you're
Great-
going to stop
great thing.
spreading STDs.
Yeah, you'll
for
stop
one.
spreading that. You'll start bringing. Never mind, I won't go to that. Let's. So here's what the scripture says about marriage, husbands and wives. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence. Yeah, due. What's due?
I want another translation.
And likewise also the wife unto her husband. The wife does not have power over her own body, but the husband does. And likewise, also, the husband does not have power over his own body, but the wife. Do not defraud each other, except it be with consent for a time, and not because Trump is president-elect, but that you may give yourselves to fasting and prayer, and then come together again sexually, that Satan tempt you not.
So what version was that?
That was the King James with a little PMV, Pastor Mike version mixed in with it.
All right, I'm gonna read from the Amplified because it's kind of
Read it
funny.
from the Amplified.
All right, so
Okay.
now concerning the matters about which you wrote, it is well for a man not to touch a woman, but because of cases of sexual immorality, also known as fornication, each man should have his own wife and each woman her own husband. The husband should give to
For
his
sex.
wife. Well, hold on. The husband should give to his wife her conjugal rights. The husband should give to his wife, believe it or not, husbands, the wives want it too. And likewise, the wife to her husband. For the wife does not have the authority over her own body, but the husband does. Likewise, the husband does not have authority over his own body, but the wife does. Do not deprive one another, except perhaps by agreement for a set time. I wonder if the husbands agreed to any of this. Like if well, some of them, maybe they're like, yeah, go ahead. Down with Trump.
Boy, that just opened the door for a whole lot of comments
kidding.
that should never be stated.
It says to complete the verse here, do not deprive one another except perhaps by agreement for a set time to devote yourselves to prayer and then come together again so that Satan may not tempt you because of your lack of self-control. This I say, by the way, of concession, not of command. That's 1 Corinthians 7.
I've got a thought. You married women that are 4 beers now. Why
4
are
beers deep.
Why are you
Shaving your
Why are
heads?
you punishing your husband for something?
It's
he
pretty
didn't
selfish.
do?
It's pretty selfish.
Yeah. Why punish him because Trump officially got elected and even won the popular vote? Why punish your husband?
See, the only thing I can think of is that they're seeing Trump being reelected as, basically the patriarchy returning, the patriarchy being evil, the patriarchy being such a horrible thing, and somehow they're the modern day Gandhis. Instead of food, they're doing it with sex. But my question is, here you go. If you're depriving the world of sex, forget the husbands for a second.
Okay.
How promiscuous are you that you're going to make a dent in society? That you depriving
that's a
the
good
world of
thought.
sex
That's a good thought.
somehow is going to make a difference. Yes, you got your
Like, will
attention.
men in the bars be like, hey, where's Ellen at?
I'm 4 beers deep. Where's Ellen? Who's that? Let's go ask that dude over there. Wait, that's Ellen. She shaved her head. Gosh, it's bad. No, but I mean, like, there's absolutely no way that women en masse are going to say, I'm going without sex, especially in our modern day society. Like, obviously, we don't agree with fornication. We don't agree with adultery. Some of you don't understand what fornication is. It's simply not being married and having sex with somebody.
Right.
And that's pretty common nowadays.
Yes.
However, it doesn't really make any sense that somehow that is going to change either culture or reality or your president or president-elect. I wasn't happy when our current president was elected, but I didn't go off and, start burning things or tell my
Right.
wife I'm going celibate because it is what it is. I'm going to deal with it.
Hey, we're not getting together because of Joe Biden.
I'm not putting out because of Sleepy Joe.
I am more than, I have a brain. So
I'm more than just a piece of meat.
That's right.
And the world
So,
will know.
here's a thought.
Gosh.
Why not conservative women
Here we
do
go.
a
Yes.
4D movement?
That sounds bad.
That means sex 4 days a week with their husbands for 4 years. We could call it the 4D4.
Now, yes, here you go. For every female, for every wife, not every female, for every wife,
right.
where you hear of a woman not putting out for her husband, you need to fight this. You need to make this a movement.
4D.
We need to make up, because here's the thing. While they're not having sex and producing kids, we can come on the other side and we can
Produce
produce
more
kids,
kids.
which means that we'll have a smarter human race at the end of 4 years because we'll have produced a mass amount of children, and those people will not have produced. And so that psychosis that you see that culminates in the shaving of the head, that will be lesser in the world.
Yeah, and that'd be the other thing. Women, grow your hair and join the 4D movement. Sex 4 days a week.
You need to say the full words.
No, it doesn't
Gosh.
stand for 4D words.
Conservative
Okay.
women,
Day.
conservative wives, unite.
Only have sex with your husband on
But then again, there are some husbands that definitely will
on
be happy
dates-
about this movement, even the conservative
dates
ones.
that end with day, like Sunday, Monday.
There you go. You know, there's definitely some conservative husbands that see this and go, honey, do you want to join this movement? There are
man.
definitely some that are.
That want their wives to join the
Yes.
movement. That's
I'm
bad.
willing. To. That's bad.
We are not one of those people.
No, I'm pretty much.
Yes.
Yes.
Say no more.
I've been dating my wife for a very long time. I'm still chasing her, which is how it should be in marriage. Shoot, but yes, this makes no sense. This is psychotic. Even if you are not married, I don't really see the point in this. I don't really understand it, other than they're fighting the patriarchy.
You know
Go
what
ahead,
this
keep
reminds
fighting.
me of? This reminds me of when we talk to people about, forgiving people and how there are a lot of people that refuse to forgive people. And when you refuse to forgive someone, and this has nothing to do with the 4B movement other than the allegory, but when you as a person, as a Christian, refuse to forgive someone, that person you're not forgiving, they could care less. They could care less. They could care less that you're full of bitterness and resentment and unforgiveness and that you're hurting mentally, emotionally, possibly physically because of the bitterness you've stored up.
And there's a science behind that too.
And there is a science behind that. And it's like I heard one person say, you not forgiving someone and holding on to bitterness is like you drinking poison, hoping that it will affect that other person. That's exactly what's happening here. You withholding sex from your husband is like drinking poison, hoping that it's going to affect Donald Trump.
You know, it makes me wonder if they're actually really sacrificing anything. If they're already going through problems and now it's just like a reason
could
to
be
be
for
celibate.
some,
That is
for some,
possible.
yeah,
That is
yeah,
possible.
yeah, it
I mean,
is.
that one woman was talking about not being able, for the ladies trying, like she might actually be hurting where she can't have kids. And this just gives her a reason not to have sex and to give up on trying. That's
And
possible.
and feel justified in doing
That's possible. Yeah. I don't. There's some movements out there that really just make no sense. This one, I'm failing to add up how that's going to work, how they're going to get momentum, and how it can possibly
Well,
impact
it's gonna
anybody
go
other
from-
than the
it's
guys
gonna
that might have
go,
slept with them.
I'm going to prophesy here out of my own heart. It's going to go from a prominent movement to a victim mentality movement.
I think it's going to fizzle out in 2 weeks.
I hope so.
I think it's going to fizzle out in 2 weeks.
I hope so for all the married men.
So all the
Anyway,
married men out there,
men,
yes,
we're behind you.
yes, eat
Yes.
a lot of food. Make her pay for
We-
what she's doing to you.
Eat a lot of chili.
Yeah, come on. There you go. Now you're thinking. Now we have another movement involved. For the men who have wives who are in this 4B movement, Blazing Saddles. Blazing Saddles.
We love you. Take us home.
Yes, please like, subscribe to Two Mics with Two Mics. Feel free to email us. If you have any other videos of this crud, I'm kind of curious if you do. If there's any wives out there who are willing to go the extra mile, no pun intended, go the extra mile and join the opposite movement, you feel free. Please.
4D movement.
4 days. 4 days. 4 days. Please like and subscribe.
I want to pay.
Thank you so much for all this. And thanks for tuning in. I'm losing my mind here.
Yeah.
Bless you.
I
Bye.
want to pet that dog. Love you. Bye.